A Fox News alert while you were sleeping. The White House releasing 5 more terror suspects out of Gitmo, despite news that a former prisoner is now recruiting for ISIS inside Afghanistan. And with 30% of former detainees returning back to the battlefield, is this administration putting ideology over national security? Joining us now is someone who worked at Gitmo as an Army medical officer. He is also the author of Saving Grace at Guantanamo Bay. Major Montgomery Granger. Thank you, Major, for your service first and for joining us today. We wake up this morning hearing that 5 more detainees from Yemen are released this morning in the wake of what's happening in Paris, what we're seeing now in terms of cells. How uncomfortable is it for you? You were there to know that these guys right here are now out.
It's very uncomfortable. I think every American needs to ask themselves this question. Do you feel safer with detainees in or out of Gitmo? And if the answer is in, then you need to cry it from the tallest mountaintop. You need to call your representatives and your senators and get them to pass a bill that's in Congress right now to stop the release of detainees. I think we need to remember also that the president declared the war on terror over unilaterally in 2013. And that set a dangerous precedent. If the president feels that the war is over, then the only thing that makes sense vis-a-vis these detainee releases is that he feels that they're victims and deserve their freedom. And nothing could be further from the truth. There's a group out there called Human Rights First, and they claim on their website that nearly 500 convicted terrorists in U.S. federal courts, they've been convicted, but there are only 300 serving time in federal prisons. Where are the other 200?
Where are they?
Could be alive and well living in Paris, Dearborn, Michigan, your neighborhood. 630 plus detainees have been released from Gitmo, and not one has been executed, beheaded, hacked to death, or blown up, or dragged naked and dead through the streets, like our enemies have done to us. Gitmo is absolutely the finest military detention facility on earth, and the Islamist equivalent is a pile of heads.
Well, then why now are we releasing? I mean, we're not even a week in hours off of what just happened in Paris with Al-Qaeda and ISIS both claiming responsibility and ties to Yemen. Why now? Why is the administration so dead set, in your opinion? You were there looking face to face at these detainees. Why are we releasing them now?
I think, again, it's because the president feels there is no war on terror. His behavior screams that. Every single day, every single time one of these detainees is released, he's telling us that they're not dangerous, which is, as we've heard before in the show, insane. Doesn't make sense.
You saw them, eye to eye, face to face.
Right.
Are they victims?
I think at the very least, they're all unlawful combatants and could have been killed on sight on the battlefield. Each one is lucky to be alive. There's not one detainee that I would let loose at this point. There's no way that you can win a war on terror by releasing detainees. It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. Unconscionable, as some would say. Major Granger, we thank you again for your great service to this nation and for joining us this morning.
Thank you. It's my honor to be here.
Thank you for your